that never changes, everyone else does. That's something you have to look out for, because if they're the most constant, they're kind of first place.
Yeah, right. They are that common denominator a lot of the time in these predictions. So I think, you know, they certainly have something about them. Of course, the people watching and waiting for the games to begin. I'm ready to see whether or not, you know, the Falcon fans show up like they did last year.
Yeah, I mean,
that was all we heard last year, man.
No, there was something new this year too, right?
Yeah.
And brand new org having their own flag raised and their players playing so well in the qualifiers as well. I'm looking at, you know, one big team from the quals, Dexify and Draftel. These guys were really good at third partying and actually controlling an entire lobby, getting good average points, staying on top of the boards. Should be fun to see the entire dynamic of them and everyone else on screen, on stage. But you can see the flashing lights. You can see exactly what's going down all these roads. These players getting ready for game one, getting ready to leave their mark on the boards.
And as all the players look to land at their spots, we begin a long journey towards crowning a champion at the end of this event. And I think we all have our eyes on different players, but ultimately it's about what you do here in the server. And I think initially, right, we'll have a couple different off-spawn fights, but I think oftentimes we've seen a lot of slow starts here in the zero build competitions, right? Players just very much prioritizing getting good loot, which can be hard to acquire here.
Yeah, lots of footsies back and forth as well as you test other duels around you. Very easy to get those tags. Over shields being dropped is not going to be an issue for a lot of players. Rumble Ruins completely, absolutely individual. There's no one even in the middle of the map. I was looking at a little bit of the drop map. There should be a lot more contention towards the center, but not going to be the case over at Mega City. This is where the action's happening. EpikWhale, Acorn looking to see what's up.
Good to see all these different players, right? Ready. Yeah. Mega City can often be one of those places where, as the tournament evolves, fights break out, right? People have an understanding of what buildings they want to land at. Eventually you start stepping on people's toes. Maybe somebody's, you know, standing in an open window for a bit too long. You're like, look, I'm going to shoot you, buddy. If you're not going to be aware, I'm going to take advantage.
You got to be careful. Sizz and Degen already interrupted on their rotation. Not sure if this is planned for Mixon, but he's found himself in this position, and he's actually reaping so many rewards. Degen already down. Sizz got to be absolutely furious for this one.
This is not the kind of start you want to have. Mixon, very, very prepared for this one. Takes both players out with ease. Doesn't take any damage at all.
That's wild. After that, 2 Acorn over at Mega City up against Vanyak. And Vanyak actually going down.
It's not a thing you see often, right? I'm used to Vanyak dominating games and,
yeah.
and being the player who are, you know, calling for these highlight plays, but up against a very, very good player in Acorn. That's going to be something to watch out for throughout the day over at Mega.
Optum Fluger also looking for their chances to find a few shots. Vanyak now finally down. One big thing to talk about just this specific meta of no builds is the flare gun, giving these players the absolute advantage and edge on taking shots on rotations, knowing where everyone is, but they also kind of know where you are. Bittersweet curse for the whole game, but it makes shots that much easier to land. Yeah,
and I think with the ability to sometimes go invisible, you know, it's good to have something that allows you to locate people and see where they are. But the flare gun, really, really powerful, really strong. I think we'll see a lot of players look to carry that throughout the day.
We'll see unexpected drops as well from the start of the day. Blake and Cease looking fine on Bastion, happy, confident in their abilities on what to do. Suddenly you watch the Middle East qualifiers, you got Smicky in the business, and suddenly it's a 50-50.
Yeah, it was weird, right? But I don't want to say weird, but Smicky, he was dominating here at Brutal. Yeah. Like, they were claiming it. Smicky and Saturn, that north side, they'll loot it up, and then, well, actually, they were landing towards the south side, so they've had to switch it up a bit in their approach, and we'll see whether or not that actually affects their power here at that spot, but they were looking really good during the qualifiers over at Brutal.
Clicks and Duke as well, lots of expectations here for this duo. They're watching Bully kind of walk around. Crowd a little bit hype on the stage, too. They'll move through Steam. He looks like the zone will be pulling towards that south side. No surprise. But that means for people at Brutal, for people near that snowy portion of the map, it's time to move. Over here, stalemates for days.
Yeah, and that's what you often get, right? A lot of those kind of stalemates where players are very worried because you just leave yourself so exposed in this mode. And so if you aren't aware of what's going on, there's a good chance you could get caught out.
Kanata too, just getting car up. I was about to say some metal, but
he's getting some metal. I don't think this is the moment for him to get some metal.
Old habits, you know?
That's me, man. Whenever I play any zero build, like I'm always just going into rooms and like farming every single thing, and I'm like, I'm just wasting time.
Oh wait, I was like looking for like the metal thing. How much is that worth? I'm like, oh, what's going on? The UI is disabled? Nah. Surely not. Kanata, though, confidence, it could be his name change if you wanted it to be this event. Every time I've seen this man just walking around, happiest can be, ready to go, and knows that he's just basically winning the whole event.
Yeah, like Kanata's like just like very brutally honest.
Yeah.
You know, he's the kind of guy where like he will say, look, it's not looking good for us. But if things are looking good, he's going to let you know they're looking good, right? So often can be a barometer for what's going on. Opt and Fluger, players will have our eyes on. I think very much players who are familiar more so with zero build than they would be with build, and so they're always going to feel confident even up against the best of the best pros in the game.
I want to see if we can focus on Mega City specifically as the zone starts to close. As it is at the very edge of the circle on the right side, a lot of the teams will be coming into the zone and stopping there. There's already 4 teams in that spot, and they don't really have to move, right? Surge might end up being a thing overall inside this format too. I mean, 88 of the best players, at some point, they're going to stop going down. Bog and Parzo, you can see them on screen too, focused, rocking in. And is this man a surgeon or a Fortnite player?
He's precise with it, right?
Yeah, not shaky at all. Oh, I thought they were teammates the way they were walking
They were
up.
just standing right next to each other. Yeah, no, that's not his teammate. Definitely not his teammate. That's actually Bully who's playing with Muzz, and Muzz is trying to return, but it's Draftel that picks him up. We've got 3 different teams all in the midst of a battle right now. Clicks on the other side, was able to get away. Right now it's Dexafite and Draftel that will be happy with picking up that one onto Muzz. Are they going to start to push towards Clicks? They use the flare, so they know he's not there. But now there's another team coming into the fray. It's Yakpo and Cammy.
Just a pit stop, though. They're gone. I don't see Duke either, so I think Clicks was... that might have been the end of a very long battle.
Yeah, there's a good chance he got taken down. So Clicks will have to try and reboot. Clicks one of the many players who's actually streaming as well, so streaming his POV, so I'm sure you'll be able to see just how things went down with him and his actual reactions to that. Ooh, what do we have here in the zone? You're used to seeing Queasy and Vino here in the zone in this area of the map. Up against Source and Notch. That's not a battle that they'll be used to taking.
Welcome to the West style, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We'll see how they handle things, though. I think one side of the party is definitely going to be more confident about their chances than the other. But nevertheless, both teams will know what they're doing.
Oh, it's just planned by Vino Queasy. They're the ones just holding these two back. They understand the game plan. Meanwhile, all the way on the bottom left side, might be tuning in with them after this map goes away. There's a huge rotation in what I assume to be a boat.
That's like old school dead side rotations, you know?
I mean, Emad's here now. That's like this man was doing this across all regions for 16 hours.
Arab's here as well.
True.
I don't think Arab's not playing, but he's watching somewhere, so I'm sure he'll appreciate that one. Queasy and Vino, they've moved on now. Not going to take that fight. But they will start to look towards getting to zone. And Kami's actually gliding right in front of them. They'll be well aware of where he is. We'll see how they react to that.
So the comms from Vino there as they're moving through some treacherous territory in the sky. Meanwhile, Kanata Agers. Easy for them to get the next spot. It's Creaky Compound. Not really claimed just yet towards the north side. Should be a lot busier towards the south. That'll be the theme of this game. Duke's back. Probably picking up some food. And Dexafite does not care.
Oh, no.
See a car blow up a car and take a few more shots. They're not going to really land, but a Fergan will let these guys just play exactly how they were playing yesterday.
Yeah.
Complete confidence.
Very aggressive. Clearly not letting the lobby affect them, right? Some players in this kind of situation where they're thrown into a more difficult lobby would have a bit too much respect, right? Be a bit worried, like, okay, look, we're just a qualifier team. Let's take it easy, take what we can get. Now, these guys are fighting for everything that they want. And they're claiming space, they're claiming good positions, and it might just pay off for them.
Oh, it's really nice. They remind me of the needle in a compass. With how loud they are and how much aggression they're dropping down, everyone's kind of revolving and moving around them. Clicks and Duke included. But they're shaking up from that last fight too. Want to make sure that ammo utility is all up. Just a few shockwaves, one bunker on each player. Not going to really be enough to really push you towards the end of the game. I think they were relying on that car to really get around, but one Cybertron cannon shot and that's down.
Yeah. Like we said, like Draftel's just not going to let you have that. He's going to see that car. He's going to say, nope, nope, nope. That's a threat to me later down the line. And he has what it takes to deal with it appropriately.
Well, the question is, how do they get out? I guess it's just go towards the north, but that top hill has so much sight. Hard to break away. Hero Fahad, though. These guys look so strong on that first day. 3 wins in total, right?
Yeah. They were so impressive. Clearly had a game plan that worked. But again, it's always going to be a question with some of these teams that qualified yesterday. Will they still have the same kind of impact in these lobbies? Does it still apply? Does it still translate? Because it's a whole different lobby.
Yeah. Short answer, no. I mean, I feel like it's a curse winning that first day. You're so confident. How do you throw away a 3-win day game plan? You know? That's a hard thing to do, but hopefully they can adapt to this lobby. Pumping Trashy, just trying to hide. This is just hunter and prey right now, right? Anyone that has a high spot at the moment, just looking for shots. Everyone else just hiding in bushes, waiting for the zones to really take over.
Yeah, and in a tournament where oftentimes you see players playing with, you know, teammates who they don't typically play with, right? In some of the regular, you know, build modes. It's good to see those two, you know, sticking by each other, right? Zero build, it doesn't matter. They're going to play together and they're going to do well.
We just go a little bit more to the left. That boat team at the bottom, good rotation. The goat team in the bush. Should be fun to see what they do next.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because overall, this team, I think when you look at their style and builds, a lot of the time things are quite free-flowing, you know, can be often very reactive. And typically, like, you don't expect that to translate, like, to build where you're almost more punished for that. Like, you know, you think they need to be a bit more methodical, a bit slower pace. You don't think that, you know, is in line with what you see typically with Thomas and Malibuka. Yet they've just been, like, the best of everyone, you know? Like, it is very much, of all of, like, the elite players, they were the ones who I thought probably they would struggle the most, you know, with zero build competition, but they've been better than everybody else. So just goes to show how, you know, much better that they are than we can even quantify at times.
It'll be fun to see when they actually just choose to fully start popping off. And it's interesting to see the util kind of links we're looking at for all teams. You get a little bit closer to Creaky, you can ditch cars, go for the bulbs, and big jumps. Source is going to be with Knock next to Queasy the whole, I guess, game and the whole 3 days, unless they switch something up.
Well, yeah, it's a long rotation to make, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily in terms of just like the raw distance. They're still here on the south side of the map, but where you sort of have to go through a lot of different choke points, right? So you almost have to move through a lot slower. All the different hills blocking you.
Ooh.
This is interesting.
Danger in Paradise. Nice dodge there overall. Instant shockwave, knowing the car's blowing up. Dodges the Cybertron cannon. Malibuka would have gone down. Sadi, Tayson. Might be an injury in real life, but they're making that translate to in-game.
Yeah, for the people that don't know, Seti busted his head open a couple of days ago. I was there when it happened. It was a very scary sight. He's all bandaged up. I'm sure we'll see him on camera at some point. Playing this competition with Tayson. And things are looking good. They're scaring off one of the best and scariest duos in the lobby in Malibuka and Thomas. They're really giving them a tough time here. But like you said, Shayo, even with the injury, Seti's still battling on.
Yeah. What's the nickname they're giving him now?
I don't know, man. They're calling him everything, man. I think he likes like Kobe.
Yeah.
You know, like he's fighting through the injury.
Yeah.
He at least thinks he's Kobe. But we'll see.
Allegedly. Well, job's not finished or even started just yet. Queasy Vino, I mean, this is a duo that didn't even expect to fight. I think 4 Cybertron cannon shots have been shot over their way. Look at their HP. That's not normally.
Exafat and Draftel, they go down, and look, we talked about their aggression continuing. who finally ran them into a brick wall, and they're punished for it. Queasy and Vino now going to look to try and get into zone, but there are going to be players waiting for them as they go in.
Kenzo, so much loot to use. I wonder, like, you know, when there's so many players come through, they have other players' names, and they're actually on land, and they see and meet that player. Like, what happens there, you know? Is it like a... What type of interaction is that? I'm thinking of Batman Booga, I'm thinking of Kenzo, like...
We got to ask. I don't know. Barney's got to ask them.
Yeah?
You know what I'm saying? Barney's got to go up to Booga and say, what do you think of all these people trying to be you, bro? Like, how does that make you feel?
Bagapars, lots of fans for them as well. Watching. This is one of the spots where they're going to have control for just a little bit.
I like that spot as well, just on the rock, just sort of pivoting, peeking around. He knows someone's down there. He clearly has that idea. And when Fahad and Hero eventually show themselves, he's going to be in the perfect position just to hold them and stop them from moving up the hill.
Next to his bad sniper, Resguard, Zandy. Side by side. Meanwhile, a little bit deeper into the slabs, there's even a few more teams. Cybertron charge after charge from two different teams. I don't know who started it, but Blash is not going to be happy it's ending.
Oh, that's tough. M-Pen finishing business. Zemi's down, so he doesn't have his teammate there to help out, and he needs to cover quickly. You see him just trying to heal up, prioritizing staying alive. But oh, that's so hard. The squeeze and bad sniper. Hitting shots like a laser there. That was really clean from them. Didn't quite clean him up, so M-Pen will get up to 100 HP again.
Zemi's crawling. He's almost there. It's a literal trench. These guys are at war. Meanwhile, King and Kami up in the business. These guys so confident and down.
No, Phaser and King go down. And it's actually really, really tough for them. Tax and Moo the ones to clean them up.
Yeah, gonna be fine for them to just pick things up, still go through. It's hype all around the world right now. This broadcast in many different languages as well. And tournaments running side by side too.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Gamers8 is popping right now, man. It's lit out here. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot going on. I know they got the Tekken stuff going on, right, as well. At the same time, FIFA's got their whole World Cup stuff going on. So, you know, competition all around. Competition to be inspired by if you're some of the players competing, right? If you're seeing players in other games having success, you want to get a taste of that as well. So, of course, you want to be watching Fortnite.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone want to keep their eyes on Fortnite. Yeah, priority number one. Keep your eyes on Fortnite. A lot of big names been going down in the feeds. I think that's the, you know, nature of this tournament with all the big names in it. You're always going to be seeing big names going down, but the likes of Queasy and Vino going down. I think I saw Pink just go down there, second right there. Rain and Champ, so there's a lot of pressure on them to try and replicate last year's success.
It's 3 days of games. They'll have the time. And they were a day 2 team last time too, so. Big Chillink. Stop going through, and it's such a long haul walk for all these teams. The zone's really moving super fast. Can barely even keep up. All the way towards Zandy, bad sniper. Fluger's gonna find the best path of attack here. They still gotta go. I mean, eating so much of the storm.
Yeah, just trying to find his way in. See some bandages there that will help. Looking around for a bit more as well. If anything that sticks out, Zandy, Resguard. They're in the zone, but they're looking like in a much more comfortable state. Fighting Fluger here, stopping him from getting in. That's a really nice find for Zandy and Resguard.
Still got the slurp swapping too. Zandy making sure that his shield's all the way up towards 100. Bad sniper might not expect this, but that duo might end up coming in from the storm behind him. Yeah, there they are. There's the beam, squeeze. Instantly almost down, hanging on by a thread.
That was really nicely done, and that's the problem. You have to be cautious of those players playing in the zone. Always got to be watching your back. Frets and Booga, one of the teams that I very much will have my eyes on. I think these guys have the potential to be absolutely finishing the competition in first place. Frets obviously won DreamHack San Diego. That's how he secured his spot, and playing with Booga. Now, back then he was playing with Conti, but now playing with Booga. Some might consider that an upgrade. I think Conti would disagree.
Absolutely.
But still, two very top players.
No, it's all about just finding that synergy here in this first game. EpikWhale, Acorn, just saw them actually deliberating on what to do back and forth. Ideas tossed side by side. They've made a decision. They're walking. Japco's had that car for so long. Him and Cammy just seeing every single duel possible on the server. Still alive, yep. 6 shocks. So high. They're fine.
For a moment, I thought it was all over for him. I thought there was no shot he stayed alive. But he does get in. We'll see if Kenzo can get in as well.
Bunker might have an angle towards the bottom, but see how many ones are just popping off left and right. Zandy actually making a little bit of a wave to get forward, maybe get some free loot.
Ooh.
Kika actually down towards the back, and Austin Pink up and alive and looking good.
Yeah, it's good. Clearly Pink was able to be picked back up, and so Anas and Pink continue their journey. And again, we talked about the big pressure on them. Escard and Ziandi, we're seeing at this point in the game where it becomes bunker wars. Everybody just playing around with their bunkers. If you don't have one, you're going to struggle. And that's why, because the players in the bunkers are already eliminating Anas. He's going crazy right now. Pink goes down again, but Anas is going to keep the fight going. Zemi taken out. M-Pen needs to be careful. Zemi just on a sliver of an HP, but it's M-Pen fighting and fighting well. 5 elims so far. Zemi has 3. These guys are on a tear right now.
How did they even survive that? Getting hit by a Cybertron charge, fighting 2 players at the same time. Zemi never went down.
Zemi was so low. I thought he was down. Right? You could barely see his HP. But still, both of those guys, and they'll get a moment to heal as well and keep going. Xweez, though, he might not have another moment because Cammy is chasing him down. You can see for a moment he's lost him, but we'll eventually find him in the zone there, and he's going to look to reload, go right back at it, and take him out.
Push the car forward too. Max Shockwaves available for Cammy as well as he pops one of the slips to just trade it over for a Cybertron cannon. Gets his affairs in order, now he's gone. More shots on the side. That's just crazy. Not expected for anyone that was in that bunker. There was a 3rd player towards the bottom, and everyone ends up just spread. Bunker towards the right. It's Acorn and EpikWhale at the center, keeping quiet for now. Quad bunkers down around them. They have so much room to play with.
This is really nice. You can see everybody just peeking up over their bunkers, all different sides of the zone. The next pool is going to be so critical in who sits in the best position. And he's trying to create that position. The Cybertron cannon causing so much manic. And he has just turned their world upside down.
He got both. He got both down. Didn't even have land the Cybertron onto one of the players. Just takes them up. Straight guns blazing. Caster reciprocal. Actually pushing back Acorn 2. Might maybe almost pick him up. This is tough. They left that slivers. No shields at all. This is the most crucial shot of EpikWhale's game so far. It doesn't actually land it on anyone's HP.
But he needs to be careful. If he peeks too much, there's players on the other side of the zone that might just be able to take him out. You can see him there. Just has to play it like an aim trainer, hitting everything he can. But if he runs in this direction, it's going to be M-Pen and Zemi that they run into. But they found themselves in a fight as well. Everybody now trying to time things perfectly.
Castro has 1 combo. He can't fly to the sky and beam, but he also has no HP. There it is, towards the top. Reciprocal goes down. EpikWhale's found it. The best position to be in for the moment, and they're actually diving straight towards the next zone. Shockwave towards the left side. EpikWhale can't actually land. It's Baka towards the right. What option is it? Is it a cannon? Is it the shots? No one else left towards the right. Baka with a big jump, but Acorn denies him the space. Now it's a 2v1.
It's all about this final shot. Gaska's down below, and all they have to do is connect. He's just going to keep hiding. I don't even think he has any heals. He's just trying to stay alive in the game for the moment, but they know they can stiff him out. The zone's going to force him out, and so it's all about the final seconds. They won't even have to do any damage. The zone will do it all, and it's EpikWhale and Acorn who start the day with a win.
They don't even need bills this time. EpikWhale, Acorn looking so good on day 1. You love to see it. Back to back, just, you know, deliberating everything, looking so good. What a way to get that first game.
Announces himself in FaZe on the stage and then wins the first game. FaZe up for sure right now. That is insane. And of course, Acorn as well, putting in that work there. These two are a duo to watch out for. The combination of their brains put together clearly is going to take them far in this tournament.
Absolutely. What a beautiful first game overall for everyone that we watched so far on stream. You just love to see 11.
So many different pop-offs. Of course, we'll talk about the winners, EpikWhale and Acorn, but Empen and Zemi were going crazy. I want to see more from those guys, and of course so many other different teams in this tournament. So many more games to prove yourself, Shio.
Absolutely. So many people just kind of caught in the fray back to back. You thought things would go one way, they went absolutely the other. Even in the start of the game, right? Middle East qualifiers coming in, taking out Legends.
It was crazy. We have so much more action though on the cards. That was just game 1. We have 5 more today. We're going to take it to a quick break and we'll be right back.